Which one of the following analog to digital converters does not use a digital to analog converter? So this is a information based questions. So to answer this, you should have the block diagram things in your mind, right? So if you remember the SAR type converters, right? So how does this look like SAR type? Just to give us, right? So you might be knowing this, which is called as counter type ADC, or that is also known as RAM type ADC. So how does that look like? So I am erasing this one. So it looks something like this. So one thing is, in SAR type we have the DAC, we are using it. Similarly in the counter type also, if you remember the block diagram, it looks something like this. So we connect like this, and we used to give this to this, and we connect this to some clocks, and we give this to a up counter, right? And the output of this counter we again used to give it to a block called DAC, and this is again being compared with this. This is the analog inputs. So what is the diagram? This one, this is known as counter type ADC, or this is also known as RAM type ADC. Both are actually same thing, counter type ADC or RAM type ADC. So if you see these things, so in SAR type we are using the digital to analog converters. Even in the RAM type as well as in the counting type, here and here also we are using the DAC. So what is the question asked? The question is asked, in which of the following we are not using the DAC. So what should be the answer? Single slope type ADC, we are not using the DAC. So answer is option C for this. A 12-bit A to D converter has a full-scale analog input of 5 volts. Its resolution is what? Okay, so the resolutions is given as, what is the formula? It is the V divided by 2 raised to power n minus 1. So the full scale value is given as 5, right? The V represent the full scale values. This is 5. And what is the n? N represent the bit structure. So it is given that 12 bit. So it is 2 raised to power 12 minus 1. So this is 5 by 1023. So if you do a little bit calculations, the answer happens to be 1.22 millivolts, right? So the resolution of this is 1.22 millivolts, which is given option A, and A is the right answer for this. Which of the following circuits converts or convert a binary number of the input, a 1 hot encoding at the outputs, right? So like is given 3 to 8 binary decoder, 8 to 3 binary decoder comparators, and select the correct answer using the code given below, right? So this is a term, 1 hot encoding, might be new to some of you. So actually in the term 1 hot encoding is quite frequently used in the finite state machine concepts. Now what is the meaning of 1 hot encoding is, or when I can say a digital circuit or a digital device is a 1 hot encoding device, is this, like if it accepts a group of bits, binary bits, and at a time whatever the binary bit input combination you give, at a time out of many output terminal, one of the output terminals should be high, rest of things should be 0. If some of the digital circuit is satisfying this property, it is said to be 1 hot encoding device. For example, let's say I have a device, let's say there are 3 number of inputs, and let's call there are 5 number of output terminal like this. Now what I mean to say is, whatever the bit pattern I give, 1 1 0 1 0, and whatever I give, at a time I expect out of these 5 terminal, one of the output should be high, rest of things should be 0. So basically a 1 hot encoding device maps a set of binary bit combinations to again a binary bit combination, but here the restriction is at a time one of the output should be high, rest of things should be 0. So that device will satisfy this property, it is said to be 1 hot encoding device. Okay, let's check this one. So do you think 3 to 8 decoder, it satisfies these things? What is a 3 to 8 decoder? So the functionality of 3 to 8 decoder is what? If I say it's a 3 cross 8 decoder, there are 3 inputs and 8 outputs. If I say 1 1 0 is the input, what are the tendencies? So in this case, this will be high, rest of things will be 0. You give any bit pattern like 1 0 0 you give, in this case what will happen? The 4th terminal right? So that will be coming high, rest of things will be 0. So is it satisfying the definition what I said? Yes, this is satisfying. Okay, so this option eliminated, this option eliminated. So you have to now check whether option A and option D is correct. So what do you think? 8 to 3 decoder. So this itself is an invalid structure of decoder. This itself is invalid structure of decoder. So this is also eliminated. So what is the answer? Of course, it has to be 1 only. Because 8 cross 3 decoder doesn't like this invalid structure they have given. And comparator there we compare two numbers. That also doesn't make any sense. Right? So what we are expecting is a group of bits should be given as inputs, and at a time we are expecting out of many terminals, one of these will be high, rest of things should be 0. In comparator case, you may argue, like if I talk regarding a comparators, if I am comparing two numbers, number A and number B, right? So at a time, so what will happen in this case? Even if there are three output, one is for A greater than, one is A less than, for A equals to, at a time one of this will be high. But here you are giving two different numbers, right? So that is not the case. But anyway, from the option also you can see that 2 is no way possible. So it has to be only these things. So answer is option A for this. The simplification minimal sum of product of a function y of ABCD which is given like this is what? So a function is given, right? So the mean terms and the don't care combinations are given. We are supposed to find the minimized expression of this using the K-map, right? So as you can see, there are 4 variable ABCD. So we are supposed to take a 4 variable K-map, right? So I am taking this side AB, I am taking this side CD. So this is A bar, B bar, A bar, B, this is AB and this is AB bar. Similarly, C bar, D bar, C bar, D, CD and this is CD bar. The mean terms are 0, 2, 3, 6, 7. So you have 0, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6. So 0, 2, 3, 6, 7. These are the mean terms. And they don't care are 8, 10, 11, 15. So 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6, then 8, right? 9, 11, 10, 11, 10, 12, 13, 15 and 14. So this is 15. So this is what the K-map of this. So I have plotted the don't care and the mean terms. So let's minimize this. Of course, group of 8 is not possible. So I am making a quad of this, right? Then what is the next target? My next target is to cover all the mean terms, right? So this is the one which is left. So as our target is always to make the bigger size grouping, you may think this and this I can do. But so with respect to that, there is a quad possible. I can take all these diagonal things and I can make one group, isn't it? So if I now minimize this, so the function y is equals to, from this how much I will get? From the row A bar is constant, from the column C is constant. So we are getting A bar C with respect to this. And from this, you know, the diagonal elements, this is under influence of two row, this and this. So from row what you will get? B bar. And from column what you will get? D bar, right? Because D bar is constant. So this happens to be B bar, D bar. So answer is A bar C plus B bar D bar, which is given in option D, and hence D is the right answer for this. A circuit outputs a digit in the form of 4 bits. 0 is represented by 0000, 1 is by 0001 and 9 by 1001. A combination circuit is to be designed which takes these 4 bits as input and output as 1 if digit is greater than or equals to 5 and 0 otherwise. If only AND or NOT gates may be used, what is the minimum number of gate required, right? So basically what they are saying is, there is some digital devices there, right? So which is producing some 4-bit binary numbers. Like if it is the decimal number is 1, it is producing 0001. If it is 9, it is producing 1001. So those numbers are being affected by a combination of circuits. So these are the 4 bits. And we are expecting this circuit design should be in such a way that if that number is greater than or equals to 5, we are expecting output to be 1. If that number, if it is not greater than or equal to 5, something else, it should produce 0. So to design that combination circuit, how many number of gates are needed? We are restricted to use only the AND gate, OR gate, NOT gates. Right, let's see. So what I'm doing is, let's call this are B3, B2, B1 and B0, and let's call this is Y. So I'm making a table here. So this is B3, B2, B1, B0, and this is what Y is. So how many combinations are possible? Of course, 16 combinations are possible, right? So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. So like this you write. Actually, this is the BCD codes are there if you see this statement properly, and many calculations you can do in your mind. So I'm just making this table just to get the mean terms of the things, right? So if you are able to visualize, there is no need to do this table. You can cut down this. Okay. So there is some device. Okay. So this is some device is there here. So this device is producing these numbers. That's the first statement given. See what they're saying. A circuit outputs a digit in the form of 4 bits. So if I give a digit call, let's call it is 9. Now this is producing 1001. And our task is, if this is given 9, it is producing this, and we are expecting like this should be a digital combination of circuits, so that if this number, I mean this digit is than equals to 5, we are expecting here 1. If not, we are expecting here 0, right? Okay. Now, so let us see. So for us, so these digits are coming like this. It doesn't matter to us. We are not concerned about this. So we are concerned about this set of inputs should be mapped to either 1 or 0. So output equal to 1 if the digit is greater than equals to 5, right? So otherwise it is 0 they are saying. So it means in the initial this thing, so these all are 0. So because you see up to this, these are 0. And is equals to 1 if the digit is greater than 1, like this. Now if you notice these things, they are clearly saying that up to 9 it is there. In the sense, beyond 10 there is no information given. You read the statement carefully. They are saying that 0 is represented by 0000, 1 is by 0001, 9 by 1001. That means this is producing the digit from 0 to 9. This is because at the end it's saying, at the 9 they are saying it is this. They are not saying that if the input is 15 they are producing 1111. So at 9 it is stopping. So beyond 9, that is for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, there is no information given. And you know very well. So if there is no information given in digital, we always consider them as what? Don't care combinations. So up to this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean the decimal equivalent of all these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case output is 0. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For that output is 1. And beyond 9 there is no information given. And for these are considered with the invalid inputs. And when the invalid inputs is given to a digital circuits, we by default take the output is don't care. So with respect to that I have put it here cross. So if I ask you what are the mean terms or the representation of this y, then what you should say? Y as a function of B3, B2, B1, B0. So the mean terms are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus don't care of what? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. That's what I was saying. This conclusion you can do without even doing this table. So there is no role of this table now anymore. So reading that statement is very crucial in the questions. Okay. Now you can make a K map of 4 variables like this. Let's take this is B3, B2. Let's take this is B1, B0. So let's write this corresponding mean term notation B1 bar, B0 bar, B1 bar, B0, B1, B0 and B1, B0 bar. Similarly, B3 bar, B2 bar, B3 bar, B2, B3, B2 and B3, B2 bar. So the mean terms are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9. So these are the what? This mean terms, and rest of the things I don't care. So you can fill these all by don't care. So now if you think of doing the grouping of this, octet is possible, of course possible. We can take these 8 cells, this is one group, and because I need to group all the 1, but rest of cells are 0 of course, right? So I am targeting to group the mean terms. So this is one group we can frame, and to cover this also one thing we can frame. So now if I ask you what is the expression of this, so what you get for this octet, from the row only you will get only B3. What you will get for this quad? For this quad, from the row you have constant B2, and this is under influence of these 2 columns. So what is the common part here? It is B1. So it is B2, B1. And what you will get for this quad? For this quad, it is under the influence of these 2 row. So it's again B2, but if I see the column, it is B0, right? So this expression Y is having the answer. I can write this as B3 bar plus B2 B1 plus B2 B0, right? So simply I am adding those 3 corresponding things. So if you think like that, I will implement. So your answer could be probably for this I need one AND gate, for this one AND gate 2, and for this one NOT gate 3, and then I can use OR gate. So probably you may get 5 kind of answers. But little bit optimizer we need here, because you see the question they're asking the minimum number of gate you need. So in this case, what I can do is I can say it is B3 bar, and from these 2 I can take B2 as common. If I take B2 as common, I am getting B1 or B0. So now if I ask you to implement this circuits, so how does this look like? So anyway, you need a OR gate at the end. So for this also I need one OR gate. So I need one NOT gate like this. So this will produce B3 bar here. And for this B1 plus B0. So I am making one more OR gate. So this is B1, this is B0. So what is this? This is B1 plus B0. So this is being ANDed with what? With B2, right? This is being ANDed with B2. Little bit thing. Okay, this is not B3 bar, right? So from this, it's only B3. Sorry, there is no need of this inverter. This is B3. Please make correction. So I didn't see it's B3. It's not B3 bar. If this could have any octet, then I'd have B3 bar. So it's B3, please. Okay, so this is B3, right? So B3, and this is B1 plus B0, and here I need one AND gate, right? So what is this? This is B2. Now what is this? If I ask, then this is B2 ANDed with B1 plus B0. So I need the OR combination of these terms with B3. So I am taking one more OR gate like this, and this is what my expression Y is. So if you count how many number of gates I have used, it is only 3. So 3 should be the right answers. However, if you are not doing this one, right, and if you are trying to do this, so you need to AND gate for this 2, and one OR gate here, one OR gate here. So 4 answer you will get. But by taking this as common, so we are getting the answer as 3. So the answer for this one is 3, which is given option B. So B should be the right answer. So let me summarize what I did in these questions. So they are saying that there was a digital circuits, right? So which was receiving some digit between 0 to 9, decimal digit, and this was producing its corresponding 4-digit binary equivalents. Like 9 means 1001, 7 means 0111, and our task was whatever the bit combination we are getting it should be mapped to either 0 or 1. So they are saying if it is greater than or equal to 5, it should map to 1. If it is otherwise, it should be 0. And that to be clearly in the question it is given, up to 0 to 9 information is given. That means which is beyond 9, all those we have taken I don't care. And we have obtained the simplified expression of that one, and we are getting this one, and then by taking the common here and we are drawing it, and we are getting the answer as 3. So 3 is the right answer, which is given option B. So B is the right answer for this question. How many 3 to 8 line decoders with an enabler input are needed to construct a 6 to 64 line decoder without using any other logic gates? So basically we are interested to design a 6 or 64 decoder using 3x8 decoder. So quite popular model questions this one, right? So there are multiple ways, but in such kind of cases, we concentrate on the outputs of the required structures and the given structures. So required structures output is 64. You keep divide this by the required structure, so the given structure output. So 64 and the given structure output is 8. So 64 by 8. So what do you get? You get 8. Again you divide this by 8. So unless until you are getting it 1. So I'll stopping here. So this is 8 plus 1. So I need 9 number decoder. For example, so if someone is saying, let's say if someone is saying design a 6x64 using 2x4 decoder. So how to do this? So I'm just explaining this. So in this case, the required structure output is 64. Given structure output is 4. So you keep on dividing this one by this 4. 64 by 4. Till how long you should divide it? You should divide this unless until you are getting the 1. Like here I got here 1. 8 by 8 is 1. So I'm stopping here. So here also you do like this. 64 by 4. How much this is? 16. 16 by 4. How much this is? 4. Right? 4 by 4. How much this is? 1. So you stop here. So I need 16 plus 4 plus 1. Here I need 21 number of decoders. So 21 number of 2x4 needed to implement this 6x64. So like this is a standard methods, right? So if you need further bigger structures, so you keep on dividing this unless until you are getting the 1. Where you get 1, you stop it here and finally add up them. That's what is the answers. So here in this case it is coming 8 plus 1, 9 is the answer. So if someone says how to implement this, let me give some idea. So in these kind of cases, you move like this. In the sense, there are 2 stages in this design. The first stage will contain 1 number of decoder. Second stage will contain 8 number of decoders. And don't forget, we are using 3x8 decoder. So in the first stage, I need 1 decoder. So I need a decoder of the structure 3x8. So from this, there are 8 outputs, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the second stage, I need 8 number of these things. So in the second stage, I will be connecting 8 number of 3x8 decoder like this. And then how to connect them? So these all 8 should be connected to the corresponding enabling input of this decoders. So these all are 3x8 decoders. So in this state there are 8 number of 3x8 decoder. And you know, like it's a 3x8 means from each of this there are 8 number of outputs. So overall there are 3 inputs are there in this, and total how many outputs are there? From each of these there are 8. There are 8. So 8 into 8, 64. Right? So this is the thing. So this is 3. And what about this? We need the 6 or 64, right? So from the output side you are getting 64 here. So how many input you need? You need 6 inputs, right? 3 are from this and the 3 input from these all. So 3, 3, 3, 3. So these 3 and these 3. 3, 3, 6. So 6 number of inputs and the total number of outputs are 64. So output we are taking from the final stages. And what are the inputs? Input is from this and this. So 3 plus 3 is 6. That becomes 6 cross 64. So the answer is 9 number of decoders are needed, which is given option C. So C is the right answer for this. The mean term expansion of AB plus BC bar plus AC bar is which of the following 4? Okay. Well, so to get the mean terms, there are many ways. One of the approaches you can go by K-map methods, or you can expand it. So what I can do is, in this C variable is missing, right? So what I'll do here, AB, this is C plus C bar, because it is 1. So if I do AND with AB, so that the value will not change. Similarly here A is missing, so it is A plus A bar to BC bar. Similarly here B is missing, so B plus B bar with C bar. So if you expand it, what do you get? You get it is ABC plus ABC bar. What do you get here? You again get here it is ABC bar plus A bar BC bar. You get here ABC bar plus AB bar C bar. Right. So what is the mean term of this? This is 1, 1, 1, right? So because it is in the mean term form, in the soft form, so variable is treated as 1, variable bar is treated as 0. So if I replace all these by 1, 1, 1, I get here 7. So this is mean term 7 plus, what is this? 1, 1, 0, mean term 6. What is this? Again 1, 1, 0 plus mean term 6. What is this? 0, 1, 0, that is mean term 2. So 0, 1, 0. What is this? Again mean term 6. What is this? Mean term 4. So as you know, like if you are adding to same index mean term, the answer will be same. So there is no need to take 3 times mean term 6. So mean term 7 plus mean term 6 plus mean term 2 plus min term 4, 7624. So if you refer this is given option C, and hence C is the right answer for this. The output of an OR gate is like they are setting like high if all inputs are high, low if all inputs are low, like this the options are set. So it's a very low standard questions. You can take a 2 input NOR gate case. So what is the property of NOR gates? What is the property of OR gate? If any of the input is 1, output is 1 in OR gate case. Now in the NOR gate case, what should happen? If any of the input is 1, output should be 0. So whenever any of the input is 1, output should be 0. So when the output is high only when all of the inputs are low or all of the inputs are 0. So if you refer this one, option A is saying high if all inputs are high. So no, when all inputs are high, we are getting 0. Option A is wrong. Option B is saying low if all inputs are low. So low if all inputs are low. No, you can see here, even though all inputs are not low, we are having this thing. So option B also wrong. Option C, high if all inputs are low. Yes, high if all inputs are low. That is correct. Option D, high if only one of its inputs is low. No, that's not correct, because if one of input is low, we are getting it. What is the option D saying? High if only one of input is low. No, if one of the input is low, we are getting it low. So anyway, answer is option C. If the input to a T flip-flop is a 100 MHz signal, the final output of 3 T flip-flop in cascade is what? So there are 3 T flip-flop in cascade, right? So this is right. So these are 3 T flip-flops. Let's call this is T0. Let's call this is T1. Let's call this is T2. And to this we are connecting a clock, right? And this is, they are saying the clock frequency is 100 MHz. So this is the clock frequency. This is 100 MHz. And generally, when we connect the flip-flops and all in cascade, right? So to avoid the, what do you say, the race conditions, etc., we generally prefer the edge trigger rather than the level triggering. So I am connecting it something like this. And one more information should have been given in the questions, like all the flip-flop inputs are connected to 1, because it's a very standard property. When the T flip-flop inputs are 1, it behaves in the toggling mode, right? So what happens in this kind of case? If this is F and this is in the toggling mode, so this is not given, I am assuming it, because the intention of this is this. So the flip-flops are operating in the toggling mode. So when this is in toggling mode, what happens? If this input is F, you get here F by 2. So whatever the frequency is there, you will get by 2 here. So if this is F by 2 is the input to this, what you will get here? You will get here it is F by 4. If F by 4 is the input to this, what you will get here? You will get here it is F by 8. So they are asking what is the final output. So final output is F by 8. What is F? F is given as 100. So 100 by 8, this much of megahertz. So how much this is? This is 12.5 megahertz. And I am not explaining how it is in toggling mode. I hope you know this. In the sense, okay, so like this, if a clock is there like this, so just only with respect to one T flip-flop I am explaining. Let's say I am taking it, say, positive edge trigger T flip-flops. And the input is 1 to this. So if I assume the initial state is 0, what is the tendency of T flip-flop? So tendency of T flip-flops is, what is the this thing? So T, Q bar, Q plus, this is the T flip-flop characteristic table, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So what happens in the T flip-flop? When the T input is 0, you get the same things. When the T input is 1, you get the complement thing. So 0 becoming 1, 1 becoming 0. So what I mean to say is, if I am starting with 0, so because the input I have given it 1, what is the tendency? If the input of the T flip-flop is 1, in the average clocks, it will toggle its states. So it was 0, so this will change to 1. So this one will maintain like this. And here, the next is coming. So which are the state? It will again change. So 1 to 0. So again it is 0, here it will again change 1 to 0, like this it continues. So if you see, if I call this is T clock, so right, so if I ask you what is the period of this, so you notice one period of this is nothing but equal to 2T clock. This is 2T clock, right? So because the time period is double, so frequency will be half. So if I say this frequency is F, what I should say this? I should say this F by 2. So based on this concept, because when the input is 1 to this, so every time the output is input frequency by 2. So here F means F by 2, F by 4, F by 8. So final answer is 12.5 megahertz, which is given in option D, and hence D is the right answer for this. The addition of the two numbers 1A8 in hexadecimal notation and 67B in hexadecimal notation will be how much? So these are the two numbers that are given in hexadecimal notation. We need to find the addition of this. Well, you can think like you will be converting this into some other formats, again doing addition in that base and again back into base 16 because options are given base 16 forms. Rather than doing all those steps, one of the common sense you can use is like this. This is 8 and this is B. What is B? B is 11 because A stands for 10, B stands for 11. 8 plus 11 is 19. But what is this 19 in the hexadecimal forms? So the 19 hexadecimal form is nothing but equals to 13 because so 16 into 1 is 16 plus 16 power 0 is 1 plus the 19. So if you add this 8 and B in hexadecimal notation, so answer happens to be 13. So 13, so here I am writing it is what? It is I am writing this is 3 and I am taking the 1 as carry to this. So this is 1 and A is for 10. So 10 plus 1, 11 plus 7, 18. So what is 18? 18 in base 10 if I think. So how much this will be in the hexadecimal forms? This will be 12 in hexadecimal forms. So that 16 plus 2 becomes 18. So I will be getting here it is 2 and again the 1 will be carried to this. So this happens to be 8. So the answer is 823 base 16. So which is given in option C and C is the right answer for this. If the operating frequency of an 8086 microprocessor is 10 MHz, if for the given instruction the machine cycle consists of 4 T states, what will be the time taken by the machine cycle to complete execution of that same instruction when 3 wait states are inserted? So certain processors having the operating frequency given as 10 MHz. Now what is we are expecting is, so a instruction is there which is taking 4 T states to execute it and at the end it is given 3 wait states are inserted. So 3 wait state means 1 wait state is 1 T states. So 3 means 3 T states. So for the execution of the instructions, including the instruction and the wait state, so total how many T states are involved? 7 T states are involved. So what is the meaning of T states? T state means it's the 1 clock width, right? The frequency is given as 10 megahertz. If someone asking what is the processing time, then I should say it is 7 T states or I can say it is 7 by F. So this is 7 and this is 10 and it is 10 raised to power minus 6 you can tell. So this is 0.7 microseconds, right? So the time taken to execute the complete instruction including the 4 T states and the 3 wait state is 0.7 microsecond, which is given in option B and B is the right answer. If only one multiplexer and one inverter are allowed to be used to implement any Boolean function of n variables, what is the maximum size of the multiplexer needed, right? So again it's a standard observation model problem, right? So what I would like to say is, suppose if I say I have a function of 3 variables called A, B and C and I need them in terms of, let's call I need 0 to 4, 6, something like this arbitrarily I am taking. Now if I ask you to implement this, so what you will do in this case? So you may say like this, so you used to make a table, right? So in this table what you used to do is, so I am saying that you implement this using 4 cross 1 mux, using 4 cross 1 mux. So let me just explain, you can notice this. So I am taking a 4 cross 1 mux like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 and because it's a 4 cross 1 mux, you'll have 2 select line. Let us also say, like I know like B and C I am using as select lines. So in the input side I'll be using the A variables and this is what the output is. So because A is used here, so I hope you know this. So you have A bar and A and then you need to make this table like by writing 0, 1, 2, 3 and by doing this is 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So you circle these things 0, 2, 4 and 6. So instead of doing this, let's also take 1 and 7. So 1 and 7. Let's take this as well. So these all min terms I need to include. So I just made the table and the corresponding task, the min terms which are given, I have just circled them. If both are circle, you treat it 1, right? If none of the circle, you can take it 0. If anything is circles, so you can take it like corresponding row value. Like here, so only this is circle, you should take it A bar. Like here, you should take it A. And here again both are circle means you can take it 1. If none of these are circle, you would have taken it as 0. So if I ask you to design it, so what is the meaning of it? So this is nothing but equals to your I0, I1 and I2 and I3. So if I ask you to connect these things here, so what do you get here? You get here at 1, I naught is connected to 1. This is the I naught, I1, I2, I3 terminal, right? So this is A bar and this is A, sorry, this is 1 and this is A. The point I want to highlight here is, whatever the min-term combination you give, right? Whatever the min-term combination you give, in this you need only 4 things. There are 4 possibilities here that will appear. One of the possibility is 0. Suppose for example, if I am removing this 2 and 6 on this, then you will remove this circles and this, so it will be becoming 0. So in this case, I would have said it is becoming 0. So what I want to tell is, whatever the min term you give here, so on the input side of this multiplexers, there are only 4 possibilities. One of the possibility is 0, another possibility is 1, another possibility is A, another possibility is A bar. You will not have the 5th possibility. So the point I want to tell is, only by using the NOT gate, right? By using a 4 cross 1 multiplexers, how many variable function are able to implement it? So 3 variable function are able to implement it. So if I want to write it in a systematic formats, so I can say, because I have used here 3 variable things here, so any 3 variable functions, in the sense any min terms of this kind of things having 3 variables can be comfortably implemented by using a 2 raised to power n minus 1 cross 1 multiplexer. So provided I will be having the NOT gate. So if you have the NOT gate, then any Boolean variable function, it fits the n Boolean variable functions. So you can implement that by a multiplexer, right, of structure 2 raised to power n minus 1 cross 1. So in this case, because n equal to 3 number of variables, so if I put here 3, so it is 4 cross 1 marks. So what is the meaning of it? The meaning of this is, using n variables, or I can say like this, using or for a n variable Boolean function, for n variable Boolean function, or any n variable Boolean function, any n variable Boolean function can be implemented by using, any n variable Boolean function can be implemented by using 2 raised to power n minus 1 cross 1 mux and a NOT gate or a inverter. So any n Boolean variable function can be implemented using this structure mux and a NOT gate. So if this NOT gate is not there, you cannot have this A bar kind of things, right? And you see, whatever the combination you give, you will not get any other possibility. So that's why, just to target that inverter, right? So we are just attaching that one, NOT gate, right? So what the question given? If only one multiplexer and one inverter is allowed to be used to implement any Boolean variable function n variable, what is the maximum size of multiplexer needed? So answer should be 2 raised to power n minus 1 cross 1, which is given in option B. So B is the right answer for this. A 32 KB RAM is formed by 16 numbers of a particular type of SRAM IC. If each IC needs 14 address bits, what is the IC capacity? And the options are given in the bits forms. Okay. So the structure of IC, is given by, it is 2 raised to power m cross k, right? So what is this m actually? M is the number of address line, and where this k is the word capacity, right? Like if you remember the structure of the ICs, we have rows and column. In one row, how many number of bits can be stored? So that is what, nothing but actually your k, right? So the word capacity. So this is the structure of the IC. Okay, so what is being said in this case is, and if someone asks what is the bit capacity, what the capacity means, how many bit it can store. So the bit capacity is this number itself. So the bit capacity is 2 raised to power m cross k. So whatever the answer you will get by multiplying this number 2 power m and k, that is the bit capacity. So you notice one thing carefully, they are saying that a 32 KB RAM is formed by using 16 number of a particular IC having 14 address lines. So what is the meaning of 32 KB? So this is the required size actually. So required size is 32 KB. So what is 32 KB? 32 stand for 2 raised to power 5, 1 K is 2 raised to power 10, and this is 8. right? So this is basically 2 raised to power 18. What is this 2 raised to power 18? The product 2 power 5, 2 power 10 is 2 power 3. So 3 plus 10 plus 5 become 2 power 18. So what is this? This is actually the bit capacity. I said, right, the bit capacity is the product of these things. So the bit capacity of required size is 2 raised to power 18. So it is being framed by using 16 number of some IC having 14 address lines. So available size is how much? Available size is 2 raised to power 14 cross K. We don't know what is the word capacity, because if someone is saying the number of address bits are 14, so I can say M equal to 14. What is K? I don't know, right? But what we want is 16 number of these ICs, right, should be equals to 2 raised to power 18, right? 16 number of these things, bit capacity should match to this one. So can I get the value of K from this? Of course, it is 2 raised to power 18 cross K is equal to 2 raised to power 18. So this and this are being cancelled. What is the value of K we are getting? K equals to 1. So we are getting it K equals to 1. So what is the bit capacity of this? Then the bit capacity of this is 2 raised to power 14 cross 1. So multiply these things. So how much you will get? So 2 raised to power 4 into 2 raised to power 10. So this is 16 and this is 1K, 1 kilo. So this is 116K and this is bits, right? So the IC capacity of which are being used 16 numbers, so is 16 kilobits, not kilobytes please. This is kilobits, which is given option B, and B should be the right answer. Let me again summarize what I said in this case. So there was a ICs which is a big size IC 32 kilobyte KB, the B stand for kilobyte. So that is to be implemented by using a group of IC having 14 number of address lines. So they are saying that it can be implemented using 16 number of things. And we are interested to find what is the bit capacity of these smaller structures. So bit capacity means product of 2 raised to power 14 cross this K. So we don't know what is K. So basically we are trying to evaluate the value of K. So 16 number of this structure is equals to 32 KB. So bit capacity of this 32 KB is coming 2 power 18. So we are solving it K equals to 1. K equal to 1 means I am putting here K equals to 1. So you are getting it 2 raised to power 14, that itself is 16K and bits. So this is not byte. If this could have been 8, I would have said bytes. But it is 1 means it is bits, right? So answer is 16 kilobits, which is given in option B. So B is the right answer for this. This is a assertion reasoning based questions. I mean, two statements are given. We need to choose whether both of the statements are individually correct or not. So if it is so, then whether the second statement is the right reason for the statement 1 or not. That's what we have to find. Okay. So statement 1 is saying large RAM with MOS circuit technology is used for the main memory in a computer systems. That is true, because the MOS, what is the benefit of MOS? First thing is power consumption is very, very less. Second thing is the size is very, very less. So when you need more memory, of course, we always prefer the MOS technology, particularly the CMOS. So of course, the first statement is absolutely correct statement. Second statement, an important application of ROM is to store programs, libraries, subroutine, etc. Yes, that is also true, because this system programs, libraries, subroutines, these are the permanent things. You don't want those to be changed frequently. And whenever this kind of situations are there, like a permanent thing has to be stored, we of course always prefer the ROM, because that is a permanent memory, right? So second statement is also true. But can we say the second statement is the right reason for the statement 1? No, because there are two unparalleled statements. The first statement is speaking regarding RAM and its technology. Second statement is speaking regarding the application of ROM. So there is no link between the first and second statements. What we should say then? Statement 1 is right, statement 2 is also right, but second statement is not the right explanation of statement 1. So this option is given in option B. So B should be the right answer for this.